Chapter 3. I found a little crowd of perhaps 20 people surrounding the huge hole in which the cylinder lay. There was very little talking. Most of the onlookers were staring quietly at the big table-like end of the cylinder, which was still as Ogilvy and Henderson had left it. I clambered into the pit and fancied I heard a faint movement under my feet. It required a certain amount of scientific education to perceive that the gray scale of the thing was no common oxide, that the yellowish-white metal that gleamed in the crack between the lid and the cylinder had an unfamiliar hue. Extraterrestrial had no meaning for most of the onlookers. It was quite clear in my own mind that the thing had come from the planet Mars, but I judged it improbable that it contained any living creature. I thought the unscrewing might be automatic. In spite of Ogilvy, I still believed that there were men on Mars. At about 11 o'clock, since nothing seemed to be happening, I walked back to my home in Mayberry. In the afternoon, the appearance of the comet had altered very much. The early editions of the evening papers had startled London with enormous headlines. "A message received from Mars." "Remarkable story from Woking." In addition, Ogilvy's wire to the Astronomical Exchange had roused every observatory in the three kingdoms. The burning heather had been extinguished, but the level ground towards Ottershaw was blackened as far as one could see. Going to the edge of the pit, I found it occupied by a group of about half a dozen men. Among them was Henderson, Ogilvy, and a man named Stent, the Astronomer Royal, along with several workmen who were wielding spades and pickaxes. A large portion of the cylinder had been uncovered, though its lower end was still embedded. As soon as Ogilvy saw me among the staring crowd on the edge of the pit, he called to me to come down. He asked if I would go to see Lord Hilton, the lord of the manor. The growing crowd had become a serious impediment to the attempted excavations. The men working wanted help keeping people back from the scene. I failed to find Lord Hilton at his house, but I was told that he was expected from London by the 6 o'clock train, so I walked up to the station to waylay him.